I am so happy that you're able to join us for this extended interview. Make sure to visit theoffbeatlife.com. Again, that's theoffbeatlife.com to get more killer resources. Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us for this extended interview with Jenny, where she's going to talk about how to create an effective virtual co-working space. Hey Jenny.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us. Before we dig deep into the topic, can you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and why you live an offbeat life?
My name's Jenny. I come originally from Munich in Germany, but I am now location independent, which means I can work anywhere in the world. In my old life, I was actually a scientist. I used to be a chemist. Working in the lab, but I kind of left that all behind after about 10 years of education and finishing my PhD. I went traveling, and then after a few years, I started to work location independently. Yeah, I became a digital nomad. It took me quite a few years to get to that point, but I started working out as a freelancer, and now I have my own business called Digital Nomad Girls, which is a community for women who want to be location independent and women who are location independent already. The purpose is to connect them, to inspire them, and to empower them to live this life in a sustainable way, in a way that doesn't burn you out, but that you can basically live until the rest of your life.
One of the great things about your business, Jenny, is the community that you have created, specifically for digital nomads. And one of the things that you're able to do that is through virtual co-working. So can you tell us exactly what virtual co-working is?
Yes. So first, my whole business is built on community, and it all started with a free community on Facebook. But beginning this year, we added another level for just women who wanted a little bit more, who wanted more accountability and who wanted more support and more connection with women who were living this kind of lifestyle as well. So that's what we do inside the Inner Circle. It's called the Digital Nomad Girls Inner Circle. And yeah, one of the big aspects is virtual co-working. So I actually call it the virtual co-working community that travels with you, because as digital nomads, I think some of the things, or doing this for 3 years and from listening to people for 3 years, what I've learned is that the things we struggle with most are not necessarily running out of money or not finding clients, but it's actually loneliness, being your own boss and being the only one who's really accountable for yourself, and then also a lack of consistency. It can be really, really hard and exhausting to be in charge of your own life at all times and your own business. So that's why I wanted to create these things. I wanted to create consistency, accountability, and community. And virtual co-working is just one way in which we do that. So it is really fun. We meet online. We meet on a program like this, like Skype. So we're face to face, and we can chat with each other. We set goals at the beginning of our session. So that helps knowing exactly what we want to achieve and stay on track. And then we share these goals with each other. Then we start working in Pomodoro sessions. So that's usually 25 minutes of work and then 5 minutes break. And then we check in with each other during the break. Maybe some people have questions or they want some feedback on what they've been working on. And, we just chat. It's a really great way to get to know each other. And then we keep on working. So that's kind of how it all works. Pretty simple, but it's really, really fun. So obviously I organize this all in my own community. We have a lot of sessions every day, every week. And hopefully in the future, I would like to have them every day as well. Multiple sessions a day, actually, because obviously we have to think about time zones. People are all over the world. Yeah, so that's how that works. And I really love it. It was a huge experiment in the beginning. I had come up with this idea. I had no idea if anybody would like it or if it would work. I'd never tested it out, So we've been tweaking it a lot and improving the systems that we use and how it all works. But it's working really well. Since we've opened the doors recently, we've had another huge influx of women join us, and we've had 12, 13 people at co-working sessions from all around the world, and it's just absolutely lovely.
How do you find the right people to do the virtual co-working with?
Well, all of the girls who come to the virtual co-working are members of my inner circle. So they are actually paying members. That's part of what they get is the virtual co-working sessions. So these are people who are already location independent, most of them. Some of them are still really at the beginning. So they might already be starting to freelance, but they don't really, they're not completely location independent yet. They are the ones who really need this. So they kind of find me themselves, they're in my community, and I've had so many comments even last week of people saying absolutely love the Facebook group. and they just wanted more. They want more support and they want more accountability, and that's why they join. So they know that these are the struggles. Like I said, I've kind of talked to so many people over the years, and these are the things that I struggle with myself. So I knew if it was me, then it would probably be them as well. So they just find me through the community, and then they join eventually. And yeah, it's lovely.
Doing this now with your inner circle, and you've done it with a whole bunch of people, what has been the biggest productivity tip that has worked for most people in your group?
The most important thing for productivity when it comes to digital nomads is to come to grips with the fact that in order to be productive and still happy as a digital nomad, you have to have some sort of structure and routine and some discipline. And those are exactly the things that we want to run away from. These are exactly the reasons why we usually leave our 9-to-5s behind, or why we want to live it in a different way and want a different lifestyle. But without those, it's really, really hard to actually enjoy that freedom that you create for yourself. Because if you're constantly just like chasing after deadlines and you never really know what you should be doing right now because you don't make plans, you just want to live free, but you don't have any structure, it just doesn't work, to be honest. What that structure looks like, that's completely up to you. That doesn't have to be 9-to-5. That doesn't even mean you have to work every day. That can mean you take 3-day weekends, or I mean, this week I took Tuesday and half of Wednesday off. It just means that I have to have certain systems in place that I know what I should be doing when. And usually that comes with some form of routine. I think a lot of digital nomads have morning routines, which is just a great way to start your day in a way that you know what's expected of you, or what you're expecting of yourself. And it can travel with you wherever you go, That's also the idea behind the inner circle. And then accountability is really, really important for productivity. So that's why we have these accountability pairings. We pair people with buddies. They can connect. Some of them text every day. Some of them Skype maybe once a week, and they just keep each other accountable and on track, and they check in with each other. And we also have challenges that we do every month now. So that is actually a new feature that we didn't do before, because it's just another way of holding ourselves accountable. It's either a habit challenge or a productivity challenge or a wellness challenge. This month we have a self-love challenge, because that's also really important. So it's all about structure and providing that in a fun way that doesn't go against the whole freedom that you've created.
Yeah, it's really interesting, right? Because when there's no structure, it's just complete chaos all of the time, and that's not productive. And what's also interesting is that most of us want to leave our 9-to-5, but even when we're location independent and we're digital nomads, we still crave some sort of structure. And now, in a way, we're kind of going back to that, but it's in our own terms. So it's kind of interesting that happens in that way.
Exactly. But it's exactly what you just said. It's on our own terms. And as soon as you kind of wrap your head around that, yes, you need a routine, and you need some systems, and you need discipline, but you can design exactly what you want. I think that's when things start falling into place, and you kind of get into that rhythm that works for you. And you know what? It's a process. It doesn't happen overnight at all. It's really a process. And it also depends on how quickly you're traveling. If you travel slowly, it will be a completely different routine than if you're traveling faster for maybe a few weeks. So definitely something to experiment with.
Yeah, and it's so great that you have this community to help people who are constantly traveling or even traveling slowly, so that they have an accountability buddy, which we all need. And that really is something that's crucial for all of us to succeed in something, because we can't do it alone. We need someone to help us through it.
There's absolutely no point in doing it ourselves. It's also just not much fun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not fun. We need, and honestly, that's one of the great things about having a 9-to-5 is you have coworkers, and you can relate to them, you can talk to them, and now you can still have that even when you're a digital nomad or you're location independent, and you just have to find it in your own terms and how you want it.
And yeah, that's the thing. It really is a lot of fun. We get together, we chat. It's just really nice. We have a book club now, so it's just a lot of fun.
Jenny, if our listeners want to know more about you, where can they find you?
They can find me on the internet, obviously. Digitalnomadgirls.com is our website. That's where you can find our blog posts, and you can also find some freebies there that we have. And if you're a girl and you want to join our Facebook group, you can find us on Facebook. It's called Digital Nomad Girls Community. You can join our group there and you meet 17,000 other women who are going through the same thing. It's really lovely. And if you want to join the inner circle, go onto our website, digitalnomadgirls.com/circle, and you can join our waitlist there because we're not always open. I only open a few times a year because I want to spend my time focusing on my members and creating content and not just like marketing all the time.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Jenny, for giving us all of these incredible tips. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
I hope you enjoyed this extended interview with Jenny. Make sure to visit theoffbeatlife.com. Again, that's theoffbeatlife.com to get the full interview with Jenny, where she shares how to find a supportive community as a digital nomad. Hey Offbeat family, I really appreciate you listening to this episode. I would love to hear more from you and what you think of the podcast. Suggestions on guests, topics we can discuss, or maybe you just want to be friends. Why don't we chat some more on Facebook at The OB Life, or send me a message at hello@theoffbeatlife.com. I can't wait to hear from you.